You're welcome back to the show. This is GTV Breakfast. I am Maltiti Saida Sadek, and today we're going to be speaking about the Ministry of Transport. It's at the heart of Ghana's mobility and connectivity. We're going to speak to the minister and understand how they're formulating policies and implementing them across the road, rail, maritime sectors of Ghana's economy to drive it. The 24-hour economy, how does it come into play? And the newly launched fair, the Transport and Logistics Fair 2025, which was launched in Ho. We're speaking to Honorable Joseph Bukari-Nipe. He's the MP for Saboba as well. Honorable, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, and let me say a big thank you for giving us this platform to be able to communicate to our people what the Ministry of Transport and its agencies are doing to improve upon connectivity and make the transport sector more sustainable to serve the Ghanaian people.
Okay. Let's talk about the logistics, the Transport and Logistics Fair. What does it seek to do to change the space of transport in Ghana?
We, as the Ministry of Transport, we are responsible in formulating policies and implementing them to the benefit of the Ghanaian people. And in doing so, we have come out with this fair to showcase to Ghanaian people what innovations we have in our various agencies, what is it that we can do to improve upon them, what are the opportunities for the Ghanaian people and the world at large to take advantage of in terms of investments, and also to create space for the business people to showcase what they also have to support the transport sector.
Right. The launch happened in Ho. What happened during the launch?
After the launch, we've been working, and you are aware that the fair will take effect from 22nd of this month to 24th. And so all the preparatory works are being done to ensure that we have a fair that will be one of the best, if not in the world, but in the West Africa sub-region.
Why is there the need to have created this fair? Has there been something lacking already in the transport space?
Definitely, you will need to improve upon whatever you do. You will need to look at how you can bring services close to the people. You will need to look at how to showcase whatever is it that you are doing to support the day-to-day lives of the Ghanaian people. And so we are creating this platform to showcase an improved transport sector, to showcase innovation, to showcase connectivity, to showcase investment opportunities for people, and again to let people understand what is it that the Ministry of Transport is doing. Okay. So it is an exhibition of all the activities that we have in our 15 agencies, and also an opportunity for the business community to come and then understand and take advantage of whatever we have for them.
How are local players going to benefit from this fair?
Definitely, they are the major stakeholders we have. They are the very people we serve. And so it is for them to come and understand clearly what each agency of the Ministry of Transport does, and again for them to also know what is it that they can be part of in helping to improve upon connectivity. When we talk about rail, it is the local people who, if we have an improved rail system, they will use. When we talk about the road sector or the road services transport, it is the local people who will be able to use the facility. When we talk about maritime, it involves a lot, not only the sea, but the lakes and then the rivers. It is the same people who will take advantage of. And of course, the aviation sector, we are the same people to take advantage of. So it is a platform for them to come and understand clearly what the ministry and its agencies are doing on a daily basis that is moving our economy.
Who are the partners you're looking at? Partner agencies, foreign partners?
Definitely, we look at ourselves first, government, all government agencies, the private sector, the transport unions, the transport operators, the academia, and of course, the investors who will have interest in the transport sector and will seize this opportunity to understand what Ghana is looking at in terms of transportation and what role they can complement or play to improve upon Ghana's transport sector.
In quite recent times, there are some young Ghanaians who have started innovations some students in Dabokpa Technical School up in the north have been able to put together a tricycle, assemble it in Ghana for use, and numerous other inventions. There's Kantanka. There are other inventions like that. How are these local players also able to benefit from this logistics fair?
So exactly the point of the Ministry of Transport and, for that matter, government, to create this platform for all of them to come and showcase what they have been able to do in terms of helping to improve transport connectivity. And let us also be informed that His Excellency the President, his thinking, his vision is for us to have an integrated multimodal transport system, so that from rail to road sector transport, to the aviation, and again to the maritime sector. So that, for instance, if you have the Taman-Pakadan rail line, it ends at Pakadan, and there's this water lake transport that will take you to Bupe.
Right.
It ends in Bupe. Then you will join vehicle to either Tamale, Bolga, or to Burkina Faso, any of the landlocked country.
Right.
That kind of integrated transport sector. That is the vision of the president, and also how to improve upon the services. And so we simply are implementing his vision, and that is why we want to showcase that vision to the rest of the Ghanaian people to clearly understand the president's vision and what he has for the transport sector.
There will be policy dialogues that will be had on Okada regulation, women, transport, disability, vulnerable groups. How is that going to be?
The policy aspect of it is the future of Ghana's transport sector. What is it that space will create? We will be creating, help us understand what to do today that will be an innovation for tomorrow. And so the dialogue will have the academia, government institutions, the local partners, and any other person who has interest in the transport sector. Everybody is welcome to come and then share some ideas and also take home some kind of experience or some kind of innovations from other partners. Yeah. And so it is a way to prepare for the future and be able to serve people when the time comes.
Is this fair going to be a yearly fair, and is it going to be in only Ghana? Are you looking at the African continent, expanding it?
So this is the first of its kind, and you will need to improve upon anything you do. And so we are hoping that we'll be able to have a successful fair that will impact on the Ghanaian economy, and that will be worth repeating or doing in the subsequent years. Okay. So our goal is to ensure that we have a very successful fair that will impact on our economy, and that will create job opportunities, and that will be able to open up to the rest of the world what is it that the Ghana transport sector has for other financial institutions, business owners to take advantage of. Okay. So it is something that if we are able to do, and we are determined to do it properly, we will be able to have it on a yearly basis, and this will be one of the ways to create a sustainable transport sector.
Absolutely. Great conversations to look forward to. Let's talk about the agencies under you now. These are going to be critical players in this logistics fair. And let's talk about the rail. There are disgruntled railway workers, salaries and all of that. There are Ghanaians who cannot wait for that railway you just talked about, Pakadan Tema, to work as well. What is the future like, the very near future like for that system?
You brought back memory. Our railway workers, always we sympathize with them at all times. It is not easy to have a worker seated at home, and at the end of the month you have nothing to take home. Government has released some monies that are being transferred from the Ministry of Finance for the Ghana Railway Company Limited to be able to pay the salary arrears of our workers. Right. Going forward, these are some of the areas we are looking at. We must have a viable rail sector that can pay for itself. They are unable to pay for themselves, they are unable to sustain themselves, and that is why there's this arrears every year. It is not this year alone. Over the last 8 years, every time at this point, we will have issues of unpaid salaries because they are unable to raise enough revenue. They are not even functioning, just now that we have started. And it is a platform to get more investors to understand the potentials in the rail sector.
Right.
Because we have a lot of mining companies that already have heavy volumes of
cargo trains
to be able to raise enough revenue. And so it is our belief that our agencies will showcase at all their stands the potentials in them, what we have achieved so far, and the way forward for investors.
Let's bring in the Africa Continental Free Trade Area when we look at rail transport, expanding that just before we go to aviation, because that will be critical as well. How is the ministry championing that and tapping into that?
Yes, I mean, whatever that happens when it comes to trade in Africa or trading within ourselves is something that we must work to improve. I cannot understand why we cannot trade within ourselves. Why the opportunities are not there for us to trade within ourselves.
Well, because as the Morocco ambassador said in an interview with me, that the cost of going from one African country to the other via aviation and whatever else is more expensive than going to some European countries. So
first, like this is what will open up for people to understand the opportunities that lies in us. We even talked of the Tema Mpakada. Like I said, it will link up to the north and then the landlocked countries for people to be able to travel freely. When you are able to move, you are not moving yourself alone, you are moving with your goods. And that is the business we are looking for our people to take advantage of and be able to create jobs for our youth. Because the moment transportation is functioning, meaning the economy will do well. Because we are the movers of everything. And on daily basis, we are the one who connect. And so connecting from one African country to another is one of the major challenges. It's just yesterday I met with one of the investors in the aviation sector who is also ready to add to the aviation sector the domestic airlines to also help improve between Accra, Tamale, between Accra, Wa, between Accra, Sunyani, and how we will create the atmosphere for more orders to come with the sense of connecting the region.
Okay. Right.
We can't jump to the continent, but let us look at the regional connectivity. What is it that we can do that you can rush to Abidjan to do business and come back the same day to continue your work in Ghana here? So it is, these are the reasons why the fair is being created for us to take advantage of.
And since you talk about domestic players in aviation, because yes, the cost of domestic airlines as well is something businesses cry about, and more domestic airlines will mean more competition, and so maybe the fares would be subsidized. Ghana Airways, I should say, what are the prospects like for the national carrier? Because that's what everybody is crying for as well.
Yes, you are aware that His Excellency's directives made us inaugurate a task force. And I must say that the task force is working seriously. However, we also have to be working at the local, the domestic area, not only to wait onto the international air carrier that will carry the flag of Ghana, but also to create the local connectivity that will be a boost for a national airline. I must say that we are expecting a report within these days to show us the business model to adopt. And that will let us now come out to let Ghanaians know where we have reached, the next step we are taking in preparation to establish a national airline.
It looks like the domestic airline space already has a lot of challenges. Does it look like the national airline will happen in this 4 years term of the president?
Definitely. Definitely. It will take off. We are looking at a multimodal transport system, and every sector will have an improvement in it. We are determined to ensure that a national airline is re-established. However, I was just emphasizing that we will need to back it up with an effective functioning local services. So that it will not look like, oh, you can only fly, but you must have it locally for our people to be able to move freely or easily.
Let's look at road transports as well. the carnage on the roads. In this year alone, over 1,000 people have died. I know that you're doing some work, policy directions for the roads interministerially. If you can tell us what you're doing to fix the bad roads, and then with the driver unions under the various agencies under you as well. STC is one of them. How attractive is it? Is a transport system that there's a police officer on board, and if you come to meet armed robbers on, let's say, the Tamale Kumasi highway, you are safe. But same is not said for the other private transport, so if you can touch on these two.
The road services transport has been the primary mode of transport for us for a very long time. That is why we have depended on in traveling. And because it has played that kind of key role, the major spine of our transport system, it has a lot of issues that has to be worked on. Now, the indiscipline on our roads is one of the areas that the National Road Safety Authority, just yesterday that they finished with their board meetings and they are prepared to take out on a serious campaign because of the Christmas festivities that are coming. And we believe that when we are able to roll out an effective safety campaign, we, in a way, will reduce the rate of the accidents. The number of lives that are lost to our road carnage is so high, like you mentioned. And it is our determined efforts to ensure that we roll out a comprehensive campaign and sensitization move for the Christmas and New Year festivities in a bid to reduce, if not to eliminate, the accidents on our roads. Now,
the State Transport Corporation.
The State Transport Corporation is in distress as we talk, truth be told. However, efforts are far advanced in retooling them. I mean, STC cannot boast of over 60 functioning buses. And you know, we don't only run internally, we also do some regional travels to Togo, to La Côte d'Ivoire and Co.
Right.
And so in that state, we are working, getting everything close up so that at least by close of year, early next year, they should receive some new fleets of buses to be able to augment their work. We are also looking at adding to their fleet EVs.
Okay.
That is cheaper to maintain and it is more profitable for commercial purposes. So the new fleet they'll be having will include some electronic buses so that it will be down the cost of maintain or the cost of repair. Okay.
Let's look at the major highways that lead to, as you mentioned, commercial transport and all of that. The Amasaman Corridor Road. The drivers were up in arms. They went on demonstrations. The Ministry of Roads has talked about how in the interim will be fixed. The contractors are back on site. Monies have been given. The Kasoa Central Region Road also leading to other neighboring countries. Critical for the transport sector, you would say?
Definitely. And I must commend the President and, for that matter, the Minister of Roads and Highways for the quick way of raising money to pay these contractors who had interim payment certificates that were not on it for a very long time. Our roads will need to be fixed, and that is the agenda of the President. That brings in the big push. And you see that there's a lot of attention on road network. We believe that if we are able to improve upon our road network, in a way it will reduce our accidents. And also it will reduce cost of maintaining vehicles on our roads. And so we continue to pray and hope that the road sector will receive the needed resources to be able to pay our contractors and ensure that they are able to deliver on time.
Okay. Let's talk about the maritime. The 24-hour economy is set to have kicked off at the ports. I saw the Deputy Minister of Transport the ports looking at all the innovative measures that are being put in place. How is the drive like, and what does Ghana stand to benefit with this policy?
Basically, the maritime sector is one of the areas that enables large volumes of cargo and international trade, for that matter. It is also another point where you can generate a lot of revenue using your ports. And that is when your ports are functioning and delivering as they are supposed to. We have done a lot of work. The Tema port, for instance, when we took over, the draft or the depth of the port was not enough to receive bigger vessels.
Okay.
Currently, if you get there, the contractors are busy dredging the place. And for now, we can receive all kinds of vessels from the world. And they take, like I said, they take large volumes of cargo, and they are able to connect internationally. And so very soon, the Tema port will be able to receive large chunk of cargo. Okay. And that will mean we will earn a lot of revenue coming from that. We also came and met a kind of backlog of containers at the terminals. And that was a challenge for us. Today, when you go, we have in a way decongested the port, and the port is able to run effectively. Now, there are other legislations that the Ghana Shippers Authority is seeking to have. Thankfully, Cabinet and the Presidency have approved for it to be laid in Parliament when we resume on the 21st of this month. And my directors are just coming from a business meeting with a business committee to table the activities we are going to do within this sitting. And those are the regulations we have brought before Parliament to see how they can now regulate the activities at the ports. And that will see to a way of improving upon either revenue collection and also bringing down cost of doing business at our ports. So as we speak, our ports are working effectively, and the 24-hour is happening at the Tema port. One of the areas that we have forgotten, maybe because of the past, is the Tema shipyard. The Tema shipyard was not functioning under the directives of His Excellency the President. We have replace a lot of the non-functioning equipment that were there and not making them function. And if you go today, they have ships that are in line waiting to enter the dry dock to be repaired. And they now have 4 shifts. Because we will not take your ship to repair and it will stay there above the period we have given you. So we have 4 shifts ready. Should there be a problem to any of the shifts, then we have a standby shift to come and take over. So if you go to the Tema shipyard, 24-hour services are working there effectively. Okay. And I am happy at the quick turn of events at the Tema shipyard in order to bring it to life. And now we are now maintaining the ships that are within our territorial waters.
The cocoa marketing company, MD, did mention that the cocoa sector is benefiting from this 24-hour economy at the ports. I'd like you to touch on cracking down on either pirated goods through our water, our marine ways at the ports, and missing containers or goods that come into Ghana that are illegal.
So in order to fight piracy, robbery at sea, and other unacceptable practices, it has to come with proper legislation. And so the Ghana Maritime Authorities Offences Bill is also part of what I just told you I went to discuss with the business committee. This will give the Ghana Maritime Authority the powers to enforce. Already we are doing a lot of survey on our waters. However, we need legal backing to take certain actions. And I must say that the Ghana Maritime Authority, in conjunction with the Ghana Navy and the Marine Police, they are doing a lot of good work in our waters. And that is why you will not hear much of piracy on our waters, okay, or robbery in our waters and any other illegal activities. They are doing well. We only needed this legislation to back them up, and they'll be able to function effectively.
Let's talk about the local side of maritime. The Volta Lake, as you mentioned, to and fro. Unfortunately, 15 people lost their lives just recently in a boat accident on the Volta Lake. This has come to your attention. What can we do better?
Let me once again express our sincere condolences to the bereaved families. I was there at Kitikrachi, and thankfully, Her Excellency, Madam Vice President, was also there for us to see things for ourselves. And it is not a pleasant situation at all. We cannot stop it. That is where they do their business. They also do their fishing there, they do their trading, and it is these boats that are supposed to connect them to wherever, the marketplaces or wherever they want to go. However, our caution is just to do it with some care. The President's directives when we took over was to ensure that we police our waters. And we've recruited some safety security officers and posted them to some of these areas, including Ketekrachi.
Okay.
We have acquired a vessel and stationed it, a search and rescue vessel, and stationed it at Kando Toko. It just got there last month, and we'll be commissioning it very soon. We are to recruit what we call safety guards. Now, we want to move from education to compliance and enforcement. Now, if you are using aviation travel, you sit in the plane, you put on your seatbelt. If you are using the road transport, you sit in a vehicle, you fasten your belt. If you are using the motor, you sit on a motorbike, you wear your helmet. And it's the same way when you are in a boat, you wear your life jacket. That jacket is a lifesaver. And so we have done education to some point. We feel that when we are able to deploy all these officers, we will now go into the issue of compliance and enforcement.
The state-owned ones have the life jackets, the very big ones, the one that use the pantoos that we have from Makango and all of that. But these private guys who use it, including juveniles or minors, how is this enforcement going to get to them?
Yes, that is why I said we are stationing or deploying the safety officers and then the other safety guards. They are supposed, we have done a mapping of all the crossing points in the country within these 9 months. We have done all the mapping and we know where each crossing point will be. So those guards will be stationed at those crossing points to do the education. Now, if they will determine the capacity of your boat, and if it is to take, say, 10 people, after the 10th person, even if it is also having life, it will not be added to the 10. They will enforce it. And again, if the 10 people do not have life jackets, you will not move. If you fail to comply, boat owners and the operators will now be sanctioned through the legal processes. And so that is where we are talking of the enforcement. And that will help us to continue. Because, you see, it is also one of the quick and safe way of travel. That is by the rivers or the lakes. Right. It doesn't involve much. Assuming it is a canoe, you only need to paddle. And that is why you'll be able to do the local trade, or you'll be able to do all your market activities within the local economy. So we are determined to ensure. You mentioned 15. The number of lives that were lost in that accident, actually 16. Wow. Actually 16. The disturbing one is that one family had 7 of those.
7 children on board.
7 of those persons pronounced dead. So you can imagine one family having to bury 7 people. We just want to continue to caution that your life matters to you in the same way how it matters to the country. So if you are going to travel and there's no life jacket in the boat, just stop that travel for that day. Because it is better to have life than to go and lose it just because you want to be quick. There will be some inconveniences in wearing a life jacket, but it's a lifesaver. So it is worth wearing it than keeping it. But what we are putting in place very soon, the lake and the river transport will also be able to contribute to the safe, efficient, and sustainable mode of travel for us.
Does it mean there are going to be more vessels given to them as well to ply that area that can carry women, goods and services at a cheaper rate and a safer rate?
So back to our fare. These are areas of investment.
Okay.
I know if you have some money and you can purchase a vessel, you'll be able to do a lot of day-to-day business carrying passengers and their load. So, but people do not want to invest in it. So we are creating this platform to be able to let them understand the opportunities that lie in the transport sector. Absolutely. So that if you are able to even bring in 100 vessels, they will all have work to do on a daily basis, and they'll bring you the needed income you want in your investments.
Absolutely. We're talking to the Minister of Transport, the Honorable Joseph Bukari Nikpe, on the Logistics Fair, the Transport and Logistics Fair 2025, and the platform that's open to investors in that space to come and tap into that. Invest in Ghana's economy, the drive that connects Ghana's mobility. That's the transport sector. Honorable, let's talk about aviation. I mentioned criminal activities at the ports, but we've also heard about busts at the airports, cargo coming in or planes coming in that are not warranted or they don't know where they're coming from, and the kind of outlook it gives Ghana as a country on the international space.
Yes, that is a concern to us, and that is why we had to speed up work on our cargo village. Now, everybody, including myself, when we are traveling, we want to have our luggage or our cargo with us. So we prefer to go and pay for excess luggage than to send them as luggage to the cargo village. That is where you can be guaranteed that your luggage came on this flight at this time. You go to the village and it is there. Now, when you look at what happens, because sometimes the airlines are not able to convey all the luggage, they leave some behind somewhere, and tracing becomes a problem. So we want to use this opportunity to say that, look, the cargo village is now in operation, and if you have cargo, make sure you use that facility, because that is where you can be guaranteed that you will get your bag or your load or your luggage at the end of the day. And again, there are a lot of activities around the airport at some peak hours when all the airlines are landing and their people infiltrate and then they're able to get away with. We've been insisting that show luggage tag before you get your luggage. But you know, sometimes these things happen with some kind of connected activities. That's why we are improving upon our surveillance in the airport and also ensuring that we recruit the needed airport security to be able to assist us perform this duty. It is not speaking well for you to travel and come and you cannot trace your luggage. So we want to urge that the cargo village is now in operation, and we want to urge people to put their cargo through that system and they'll be able to get it. The
late Honorable Dr. Mutala talked about how Ghana imports more excavators than any other African country. This is transport. We've heard the saga about clearing lots of excavators at the ports. Can you tell us where these excavators go in the transport space?
Well, on the issue of excavators, it is one of the areas that we, as a government, the president has directed that due diligence be made before an excavator will be cleared. And if you were in my office, you will, on a daily basis, you will get to understand the processes you have to go through to be able to clear your excavator. The president established an interministerial task force comprising the Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Finance, and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. Now, when you bring in your application, we will probe to see whether you are a contractor, you are a farmer, you do dredging work, or you do stone quarry. We will have to go through to establish that, yes, you have a contract that needs the services of an excavator. Now, if you are not, your excavator is not released to you. But several of them have gotten their excavators, meaning they are either into road construction or any of these works I've mentioned.
But some also take it and go into other areas like Galamsey.
That is why we used not to register excavators. His Excellency the President ensured that we now register. So if you go to the port, before any arrival, those excavators are registered and tracked We put trackers on them so that we'll be able to know that, oh, this excavator belongs to Mr. John. And that if it is found at any illegal mining site, then we can now prosecute Mr. John for engaging into illegal mining, because you would have told us what you are using the excavator for.
Okay.
And so these are the checks and balances we have put in place, and that has slowed the clearing of excavators. You remember that the port got congested, and when we were decongesting the port, it was that we were clearing them under the under some kind of system that we were hiding under darkness to clear them. If you go to the military installation, you see those excavators still there, and there are owners who are genuine. Sometimes let's take it for them. They are also going through a lot, the genuine people. But it is because of illegal mining that we are determined to prevent excavators from getting there. That is why even if you have a legal contract and you need an excavator, it takes you that long process to be able to get your excavators to do your work. So we, at the Ministry of Transport, this is what we are also doing to support the fight against illegal mining, to ensure that we register and know who owes it and then track it. So if it is supposed to be in Kumasi, working on the road in Kumasi, and it is now found in the bush in Western region, we will know that it has left where it is supposed to be. Then we can track and then arrest whoever is involved.
Absolutely. Honorable, finally, the Transport and Logistics Fair, can you give us names of any investor or private people that you're partnering who will be at the fair, and your final remarks?
Definitely, there are a lot of them.
Okay.
And we will soon share some leaflets on the number of companies or investors that have come to register with us. I wouldn't want to engage in mentioning some and leaving others, but we'll fly the number or give you leaflets of the number of investors who have expressed interest in coming to take part in our air show. What I will end with is to encourage all Ghanaians to come and see what your transport sector has for you, to come and see what opportunities lies in your transport sector, to come and see how you can take advantage of it. If you have any idea that can help us improve upon our connectivity, it is also a platform for you to come and share with us and our agencies. So I want to encourage government agencies, I want to encourage transport operators, I want to encourage the private sector, the academia, and all other Ghanaians who also have something to contribute to bring about the sustainability of our transport sector. And that from 22nd of this month to the 24th of this month, Ghanaians will see how we are resetting the transport sector for improved connectivity, innovation, and investment.
And it's happening right here in Accra?
It's happening right here in Accra at the World Trade Center.
Okay.
So that it is a well-positioned place so that you can come and see innovation, you can come and see how transport will turn things around to make this economy a very functioning one.
Thank you so much, Honorable, for speaking with us and giving us all the insights into what your ministry is doing and all of the agencies under you as well to improve and transform the transport sector. 22nd to 24th of October, the World Trade Center, the Transport and Logistics Fair 2025 will happen. We've been speaking to the Honorable Joseph Bukari Nikpe. He also doubles as the MP for Saboba about maritime, road regulations and accidents, and aviation as well, the 24-hour economy that has started at the ports and what Ghana stands to benefit, and the advancement of technology in the transport sector. And investors are called upon to come to that Transport and Logistics Fair at the World Trade Center on the 22nd to 24th. I am Multi-Decider Sadiq, but there's more, so stay with us.